House Draft 1. Discussion. Representative Thielen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm rising to speak in support of the measure,
Please proceed.
but I also would like to urge my members to use caution as we move this measure forward and then over to the Senate. I don't believe we should reduce the credits, the tax credits for photovoltaic any more beyond what is in this bill. I think we've gone down to the bare bones. This is a vibrant industry. It's one of the stars in our economy, and the understanding from the economists from the University of Hawaii is that for every tax dollar credit, we generate over $2 back into our economy. I think that makes good sense. So when you read the bill, and particularly the amounts that are on page 2 and page 3, let's hold the line firm in the House and not go below that, that percentage of those tax credits. The other thing is that there's going to be a study required from Department of Business and Economic Development. It might even be better to make that study be further out. It's going to be 3 years out now. I'm not sure if that's going to give quite enough time for everything to stabilize, because we sent a lot of mixed signals that scared off the residential property owners from going ahead with photovoltaic. Now, if we go ahead with this bill, we'll have a good signal that it's going to be stabilized at these specific percentages, and you can go ahead and put in your project feeling some confidence. I think that if we allowed a study on that to occur, let's say after 4 to 5 years, then we might even at that point decide that we should ramp up those tax credits again. The end result is that we can get homes virtually off of the grid, and that's going to be a huge plus for Hawaii. We will keep that money that we're sending out now to buy foreign fossil fuel, we'll keep that in the state. And Mr. Speaker, that is going to be the big economic engine for our state. I really think green energy means green money in our economy. So everything we can do to encourage that, I would say let's do it. But let's hold the House position firm. And I'm not sure what's going to happen on the Senate, but I think we ought to be linking arms and saying our position is the one that has to prevail. Thank you.
Representative Thielen, sorry, just a quick clarification. In support, but not slight reservations, just fully in support.
Oh no,
of the bill.
Fully in support.
Okay.
But let's hold our line that we've set. We've drawn a line in the sand, and 51 of us should stand firm with that line. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the clarification. Members, further discussion. Representative Hanohano.
Kanalua.
Kanalua for Representative Hanohano. Representative Ward.
I rise with reservation with a few comments, Speaker.
Yes, please proceed.
Speaker, I think the concerns expressed by my colleague from Kailua are very well taken. I take them a little bit more seriously when they've actually ramped down the percentages of the credit that can be taken. For example, it's now 35%. It goes down to, in 2015, 25%. In 2016, down to 20%. The point is the structure of the incentives are going to fade away. They're going to dissipate. Speaker, we have to realize that of the electricity going through the grid right now, less than 1% is PV. Less than 1% is PV. This industry is such an infant, I call it a zygote. If we take too much of the incentive away, we will then leave it to the millionaires who can do it rather than the small guys who might be able to afford it with these very picayune small incentives. One more case in point. For the last 30 years, we've incentivized the water heater, the solar water heater. To this day, we have less than 29% of our homes that heat their water by the sun. We have the possibility of becoming the nation and the world leader in this. And if we don't give some incentives, even though this does give incentive, it kind of damns with faint praise, if I can use the Shakespearean term. The point is, Mr. Speaker, I hope that any committee that handles this in the future is not going to say, well, that's still too much. DOTAC says this is $30 million or $50 million. Well, think of the $6 billion that we're giving to the Middle East and we're giving to all those fossil fuel producers in the other parts of the world. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Ward.